For this video, we're going to be talking about basic probability. So, probability is just a measure of how likely an event is to happen. And we can express probability as a fraction, a decimal, or a percent. And the way we find probability is just by taking the number of favorable outcomes, which is what we want to happen, and dividing that by the total number of outcomes, meaning the amount of stuff that can possibly happen. So for example, if I wanted to find the probability of rolling a die and getting an odd, well, that's just going to be 1/2. Because there are 3 odd numbers on a die, 1, 3, and 5, and 6 total numbers. So my probability is 3 out of 6, 3 odds out of 6 total, which reduces to 1/2. Or I could write that as 50%, or 0.50. But the way we find probability is simply this right here, taking the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes. Now this should be a review, and we're just going to go through some examples. So one example says if you spin the spinner below, so this spinner, find the probabilities of landing on each color. So, for example, if I want to find the probability of blue, I write this, P of blue, that means probability of blue. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take the number of blue sections divided by the total number of sections on this circle. So, if I spun this spinner here, I can see that there are 3 blues, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total sections. So my probability is 3/12, which reduces to 1/4. Now we could do the same thing for the probability of red. Take our number of reds divided by 12, because there are 12 spaces. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reds. 5/12 doesn't reduce, so I can just leave it like that. I can do the same thing for green. You'll see there are 3 greens, so just like blue, probability is 3/12, which equals 1/4. And finally, if I want to find the probability of yellow, that's simply going to be 1/12, because there is exactly 1 yellow section. So all we do to find probability is take the number of ways that what we want to happen could happen, divided by the total number of things that could happen. All right, example 2 says if you randomly pull a card from a shuffled deck, what is the probability of pulling a red or a 6? All right, so here, this is just all of the cards that are in a deck. You'll notice that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of each suit, okay? And there are 4 of each different value of card. So this says pulling a red or a 6. So we're finding the probability of a red or 6. Well, let's look at this. How many red cards do I have? Well, I have 13 diamonds and 13 hearts. That's 26 red. 2 of those are 6s. We're not going to count those twice. But this is a red or a 6. So it can be any of these red cards, or it can be either one of these 2 black 6s. So my total is I've got 26 red, I've got 2 black 6s. In total, I have 28 cards out of the 52 total. That reduces to, well, let's see, it reduces to 14 out of 26. I can divide both of these by 2. That reduces to 7 out of 13. So the probability of getting either a red or a 6 is 7/13, because there are 26 red cards and 2 6s that are not red. So 28 over 52 reduces to 7/13. So we just found the probability of getting the type of card I wanted and divided it by the total number of outcomes. Example 3. In the 2013-2014 season, the Wizards won 22 and lost 19 games at home. If you picked a random Wizards home game to go to, what is the probability you would go to a game that they won? So we're saying if I just picked any random Wizards game to go to, what's the chances that they're going to win that game? Well, we know it's going to be the number of wins divided by the total number of games they played at home. Well, we know they won 22, and then they lost 19. So to find the total, we do 19 plus 22. That's 41. So the probability of me going to a Wizards game in which they'd win is 22 over 41. This fraction doesn't reduce, so we're just going to leave it like that. All I did is take the total number of the number of wins over the total number of games. So I'm going to leave you with a try it problem. It says a bag of Jolly Ranchers contains 12 watermelon, 13 grape, 11 cherry, 16 blue raspberry, and 12 green apple. If you just grab one of them at random out of the bag, what is the probability that you grab either a cherry or grape?